DJ House Paint, Sound Kind Special. DJ House of Pain, sound kind of special.
Folks, I'm Sinto LIBERIA Public Radio. We're here again this evening. We want to welcome all of you on this Monday, good Monday afternoon. We say thank God we're here again. We want to say thank you, Jesus, for giving us another day, and we continue to ask for more and more and more. Please forgive us whatever we have done that is not in the liking of yours making. And please forgive those who have done anything against us or any other person that perhaps is also not in the liking of your making. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, let us continue to pray for one another and pray for the country and pray also for the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. I want to welcome all of you that have been listening. And tonight, again, we're going to continue with the usual roadway issues. We're going to go a little bit into, we're going to mix it up here tonight because if anything, I said I'm not going to involve myself into a lot of politics nowadays. But if the road has, if people in the politician have anything to do with the road, I think I will bring it up to you. And one of them is tonight as well. Anyhow, safety, folks. With this virus that's going around, and of course, the old people get the brunt of it. But why even allow that to come to you? Those of us that have relatives, old folks from the countryside that are here visiting or staying with us, we have to be very careful. Not only that, you want to make sure you wash your hands 4-5 times a day, folks. Because I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't speak to those. But what I've been hearing and what people have been saying is washing hands help a lot. They also suggest that you don't touch your face a lot, because that's how this thing go from one person to another and stuff like that. But we are hoping Mr. Francis Johnson has a program with my own niece. I got up there from all the way to from Houston, who is a medical practitioner, and she will do her best to continue to enlighten us as to how to keep ourselves healthy. And it's a good program. I'm hoping that Mr. So will bring it on again either Thursday or Friday, whatever time that he has with him. I think because it's a good program, it will help all of us anyway. So safety, folks. Take care of your car, and your car will take care of you. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, we're here again this evening. We want to welcome all of you to say thank you very much for continuing joining LeBron Public Radio, because this is what we do here. We tend to enlighten you, at the same time make some fun. And in fact, those of you that were here watching on Saturday, I mean, you saw me dancing like nothing else. My body is still aching from that. That was just a little dance. Yeah, so you know what my body been doing? My body been to the coconut plantation. I mean, they're not small body here. My body been to Carway. They're not small body here. My body been all the way from the countryside all over in Bapa. Okay, digging diamond. So their body, they're not some kind of spring chicken. Of course, I'm still spring chicken. So when I dance like that, the body said, my man, slow down. So I got to slow down a little bit. Samson, too. I thought I put that in there. Anyway, folks, welcome. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of the road issue. Let me say this to those of you that are listening now, because I've been getting calls. In fact, we've also been hearing people in Monrovia, they're not coming on our platform because they believe we are opposition. And so I heard that today. It saddened me because I try to be as much neutral as possible, but I'm a Liberian. And I've never put my political whatever on my sleeve. I always announce that until I get kicked out, I'm still a member of Liberty Party. I've not been kicked out yet. So I'm not too sure if Liberty Party will even want to fool around with me to keep me anyway. So who knows? Maybe the leadership have changed. Maybe the other person, new person coming, they will come kick me out. I don't know. Okay? But I've never tried to do whatever that I can to try to hide it from you. I always put it out front. However, being member of Liberty Party, it's not the same as being a Liberian. I'm a Liberian first, and then Liberty Party. So whatever that is happening in Liberia that will benefit my people, I don't care who the president or who the leadership is. And so I'm not going to sit here and criticize because I'm an opposition. I want my party to take over. Far from it. If I want my party to take over, there are a lot of things I can do. I don't have to come out here on the national Liberian Public Radio platform and utilize that to spring my party into position. Far from it. There will be time from time to time I will invite Liberty Party leadership on my platform to discuss issues affecting our people. But on this particular road issue that I continue to talk about, I'm speaking strictly as an engineer. It has nothing to do with party. Why am I telling you this? Because when I heard this morning, the people that are saying this thing, they are not small chicken. These are big wigs. And for them to say, oh, something to the opposition, we're not going there. Why will you not come here? I'm sure all of you are educated. You can explain yourself. It's nothing here that I'm going to question you to say, I got you type question. That's not what I do here. When I bring these things up, I'm not criticizing just because I want to. If things are not done according to international standard, from my own design experience, not only do I do construction, but I'm also a roadway designer. So I've utilized roadway design tools for a very long time. The safety of roadway design, I've done those things. Okay? Now, in civil engineering, most civil programs are structured. They do steel, and I can do steel as well. They do concrete, I can do concrete as well. Mostly it's vertical structure, so most civil programs. However, there are few of those universities that if you're lucky, you go in, you can find yourself going to the horizontal structure, which is the roadway. Okay? And so I was lucky and blessed to be able to find this small university. Say very little, but they were not playing around. They didn't care if you came from Toll Town. Whether you can speak English or not, you're in their classroom, that's it. They give you 5 element, they're not going to pour around and say, okay, they man from Toll Town, therefore they know of his own 5 element is going to be a little bit different, and the connection, the steel connection calculation is going to, Medusa going to be little. No, they give it to you, they give it to everybody. So those of all, I struggled. It wasn't easy. I'm from Toll Town. But the main thing was the determination was there. And so I was able, sooner or later, I'm going to get it. And once the professors find out that this man from Toll Town is very serious, they started gravitating towards me, showing me more and more. And as a result, as I'm speaking to you right now, when I'm saying something about engineering, okay, I'm not professing to say that I know all, but I can hold my own. So sometimes when I come on, if you don't believe me, guess they got other engineers. They don't have to be a Liberian engineers. You know some engineers that are not even Liberian. Come on here, let them question me. Let them ask me question. Engineering question, roadway engineering question. And see if I'm bluffing or if I'm pulling your legs or what have you. Okay? But for people to come out and say, I'm not going on that platform because he's the opposition, then I think they're missing the mark. Because if you come out here as a technical person and you allow yourself to be interviewed by me, I will talk to you strictly from a technical perspective. I'm not going to come out and ask you, got you, or most of the things that I'm going to be talking about, I think that is happening right now in Liberia with respect to roadway. Okay? So, but when I heard it this morning, I felt a little bit bad. First of all, I started thinking to myself, maybe I'm not from Toll Town again. I told myself, well, I need to do my program in Crown. Maybe then people will know that I'm from Toll Town. Okay? Then people are going to know that I'm from Toll Town. So, but then I thought to myself, no, if I do that, that would be defeating the purpose, because not everyone that will be listening to me from Toll Town. But I just wanted to prove myself that I'm still a Liberian. I'm still a Liberian. And I'm not trying to do anything here to degrade anybody. First of all, I think those of you that follow me have heard this before. The brothers and sisters back home, not just engineering, but brothers and sisters back home that are working for the government, they're doing a wonderful job. And I very much I'm involved in terms of sympathizing with them. Because most of the young people over there in Liberia, they can go to any part of the world and make living. And good living as well. But they decided they want to stay over there in that heat and work. And you can't tell me that because people will throw the accusation here and there. Oh, the people, they can steal and take no proof. We have no proof. And that's why I don't talk about those things. But that doesn't stop you from saying it. You say whatever you want to say. But yet still, your mom and father and brothers and sisters, even though they're suffering, they're struggling. But nobody going around shooting in the street. The government of Liberia is functioning. The government, whether we agree with them or not, is functioning. They got law and order. It is all because of these brothers and sisters that are there. I don't agree with them on many things. And as a member of the Liberty Party, if I don't agree with them on many things. But I must also realize and I must accept that these people are running a government. This is not a banana republic. George Weah have not one day, Dr. Weah that is, have not one day go in the street and say, you see that man walking where you cost me 10 years ago, you go catch me, man. It ain't happening yet. I mean, it's not happening. Okay? If I leave from here and get to Monrovia and start a fight and hurt somebody, it doesn't matter what I say I'm into or not. The police will come and get me and I will be investigated. And once found guilty, they will apply the law according to whatever law that is there. The government of the Republic of Liberia is functioning. So these people continue to do the work to make sure the country is there. They're not moving fast enough for some of our pace, the speed we want. But that does not negate that these brothers and sisters are working. So for some of them to think that I'm in opposition, I can't change that. All I can do is to be sincere and be factual. Because here's the thing about this road business that I'm talking about. The Rawafi Highway that is hopefully will be constructed. It's a highway will not care what party you belong onto. Once you get in the car, the highway is there to be utilized. The facility will be utilized by any political party member, COPO, WPO, PPPO, but whatever. The highway. It doesn't ask question what party you belong to. And because of that clear understanding, I'm doing my best here to enlighten those of you that want to learn this thing here, how these things work. Excuse me 1 minute. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay, I'm back. I had to move one or two things out of the way here. The monitor is over there and I can't see it. But anyway, that's the point that I'm making. The role, as long as the president have decided that he wants to carry out the role connecting from EW Junction all the way to Robertsfield. And since I know a little bit of it, I think, and I have this opportunity with LIBERIA Public Radio, have this platform to be able to have discussion, and one or two people are watching, and one or two people are willing to listen to me. Why would I want to put partisan ahead of something that is going to be utilized by majority of my brothers and sisters? If I do that, I'm not sincere, and that's not who I am. So I'm just saying again, those people that will be writing when I say something, because I myself notice it here when I'm talking about these things, people will write, oh, hey, you know anything? Go home now. They will be writing some statements that are not conducive to the subject matter and things like that, but I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about. So I hope that when I come out here and say this road is not being constructed correctly, I will tell you why, and I've told you why on many things that I've talked about on this road that I've been talking about. For example, the road, Door Community Road. I criticized that construction process. First of all, it was in the rainy season. Second, some of the little stuff that I was able to see, like the drainage process, I thought it was wrong to put a drainage in an area where you have a community and the road is higher than the most of the people put around the perimeters of the road. So what happened when it rains? The rains, you expect the rain to get off the slope and go into the people's houses? Is that what you want? You live in the diaspora. Look at your house in comparison to the street. Most of your houses are higher than the street. And they do that on purpose. So because there's no quota or what you call asphalt, water go on the flute like that. At least if it's grass, the grass will percolate. We allow the water to percolate, which slows the water down, and some of them will go on through the soil. But quota, the water just slip on it like that. So if you're putting it down, then your road is higher than the surrounding community, then you have to provide for the community not to get flooded. That was my comment then. Okay. So these are kinds of stuff. These are little things that I look at and try to point out. For example, those of you that are in Liberia, hopefully you'll watch the video later. Look in the street where the area where the people are doing construction, specifically these open drainage stuff they have. Look how much steel rod sticking up all over the place. And most of these steel rods sticking up right by the school. These children jumping up, and I used to be a student. I know what it is. I think I can jump. What if a kid made a mistake? And these things in this country, in any country, many countries, when you're doing this type of construction, the rule says when you're done with the job and you're not quite done with the steel that you put up, in order for it to be exposed to the public, it must be capped. Okay? They put rubber caps on these things. Okay? However, they also say that the area, for example, they also know Liberia, they don't make rubber caps, but in Liberia you have wood. So you take 2x4 and you put 2x4, you join them and you go along the steel and put the 2x4 on. Okay, yes, the steel here, 2x4 on. So when a kid falls, the only thing he's gonna do is to break some ribs. But you're not gonna have steel piercing through him. Those are the kind of comments that I'm making. These are not things that are far removed. That doesn't mean I'm criticizing specific group. But those are just something that are common. Why is it that you put a road down and there's no shoulder? Should I not point that out? Does it mean I'm an enemy of the state? So I thought that I'd take this 5 minutes or so of your time to try to explain to you, because I'm not going to get up. I don't care what people think of me. I'm not going to get off this road business, because I pray to God that I'll be driving on that road too. If they're going to give us what they did with Kakata Morea Highway. Okay, so let's get on with the program. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Tonight I will be showing you some more of my handiwork on this Rowersfield Highway. But before that, let's go ahead and start the show. I'm not going to let any of these people deter what I'm trying to do. Let's see now. The president of the Republic of Liberia, do they elect 61.5% of the Liberian electorate, they said, this is the man we want. And he was elected. Duly elected. He didn't come to power through the back door. That is President Dr. Weah of the Republic of Liberia. That's Dr. Weah. Now let's go on on the road business still. Let me show you now when Dr. Weah was running campaign. He went up in the interior, and while he was in the interior side, he decided to walk on one of the major highway in Liberia during rainy season. And of course, if you're from Liberia, you know when it's rain, or during rainy season, most of the major highway, they're impossible. You can't go through any of them. So he decided to test him himself. Let's watch Samson to Liberian Public Radio.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. You hold it straight. I don't need show the road. You must stay. We're gonna junior that before. No, I beg you. I'll go. Man, the Germans are still waiting for us. I think it's finished. Salome said, not done.
There you have it. I have my son is watching all the way from Monrovia right now. Good evening, Samson. My son is watching me all the way from Liberia. That's what I do every day, man. But anyway, let's get on with it. That's during the election. I'll play you another video now. Where Dr. Weah is done with the election. So now he's going to tell the Liberian people, thank you for giving me the opportunity, he said. Don't be thinking and praising me, because if anything, I'm the one supposed to be thanking you for giving me the opportunity. The road business I'm doing is because I like to do it. Because when the time finished, he said, anybody that come after me, they will find something else to do. And if I'm in the road business, I've heard that. Why would I not be happy? Let's play the Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Folks, this is Dr. We are not going to be telling us what exactly he's doing with the road business. Listen in.
This is the right thing to do. Our country, it doesn't matter how many homes you got there, if no roads to connect, it's not completed. So I am happy with my road projects. From the capital to the hinterland, I will continue with the road projects. Anyone that will come after me will find something else to do. But I think that Liberia, being the first African Republic, also needs a road network. And this is what we're doing. You don't need to thank me, that's my responsibility. I need to thank you for making me to serve the country. This is the right thing to do. Our country.
There you have it. This is high. Okay. There you have it, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Now, yes, one of the things that I talk about, and perhaps people think that I'm opposition. You have the president have already put out a policy for people to build red light. And these people, I mean, listen to the guy. You can tell that he's not somebody just coming from Total yesterday. The man is highly educated. So he's now going to tell the president how much improvement they have gone with the road construction. And 75% of completion, they just find out that they have LEC light pole in the way. Now, this is where I get a little bit frustrated. Because these people, they say they know what they're doing. And I have no reason to doubt it. I have no reason to doubt that they know what they're doing. I'm not even questioning that. But when you're supposed to be someone in charge of certain things, and then come to find out, public, these things are done. And I love Liberia MTV. I love these young people in Liberia. They like to show us everything that is happening in the process. Those of us that in these kinds of business, when we see these things, we say thank you. So they were building a red light area, and the contractor is giving an update. In the process, he's also going to be throwing the Minister of Public Works on the bus, because he have discussed with the minister apparently that the light pole is in the construction zone. Now, as a construction person or even a contractor, these are some of the things that make you make money. These are some of the things that make you make money. Okay? Now, if you go out, you get a contract. The contract they give you what you guys call blueprint. They give you a set of plans. Most likely 11 by 17, which is called half size. Okay, because they're not going to go and give you whole 24, 32, 24, the big, no, they give you half size because it's manageable. Okay? And you take that set of plan and the instruction, and the instruction for how to construct the road is called specification. That's the instruction. So the spec tells you what you need to do if certain things are not done according to the plan. Now, in terms of hierarchy, the plan sets, number one, take precedence over spec. Next in line will be the spec. That's how you do, because the plan, it tells you everything that you need to know if you know how to read the plans. Because there are some people that don't know how to read plans. I've seen it. Okay? But anyway, so when you get your project, if you awarded a contract, they give you a set of plan, they give you a specification. And on the plan, they're supposed to give you all of the utilities in the construction area. They're supposed to give you everything, underground utility, overhead utility, everything. Okay? Cable, electrical, sewer, storm drain. Okay? And all of the connection that is within the construction zone. They're not going to go outside of the construction zone and give you stuff. And how do they come about those things? Most of the time, these utilities are buried. So the contractor goes and asks the utility company in that area, say, do you have utilities here? Or have you guys vacated other utilities? Sometimes the people own the utility company, the storm, okay, we don't want that anymore, we're going to put a new one in. They abandon this stuff. And then sometimes they capped it. Because digging it out and going, it costs more money than to just fill it in with concrete, leave it alone. It's underground anyway. However, when you're coming to do widening, when you're coming to do rehab, and the utility on there, and your pavement have to go all the way down there, okay, and it's in conflict, even though it's abandoned, but who owns it? The people who owns it, they're responsible to pay for the removal. That's how you go through all of those things. And then you identify all of the utilities according to what is on the plan. This is where, as a contractor, if you're smart, this is where you make serious money. If I were a contractor in Liberia, the work itself is not what's going to get me money. It's the CCO that will give me money. Okay? Change order, that will give me money. Okay? Because most of from what I'm going to be showing you here, it seemed to me that those who drew all the plan, who came up with the drawing of the plan, decided I don't know whether they forgot or something, but they didn't put it on there. But if it is there and the contractor is not able to identify that and try to follow up that these people own this utility, they have to move it until they get to it, that's on him. Because after a certain time, liquidated damage is involved. When you're supposed to meet your spec, they say finish the job on the 21st, and you think say you're going to go 2 months, 3 months, you pay the people who gave you the job. In this situation, the contractor, after a certain time, they say, okay, when you don't meet the deadline, you pay $10 an hour to the Liberian government, because the Liberian government owns the property. So, in fact, in some of the spec, they put in something what they call incentive. If you finish the job 10 days ahead, we give you certain, like maybe $25,000, $30,000 just by finishing 1 or 2 days ahead. It's the incentive days and what have you. No, but that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, so the reason why I'm going through all of this thing here tonight, I want you to understand. Like I said, if I was in Liberia, where I was going to make my money, because these people seem to me, from just looking at their drawings, I've not seen many drawings from Liberia, just a few ones that I have here, I'm going to be showing you here. They don't try to identify these things. They expect the contractor to find them. Well, every time that I find it and it's not on here, you pay me to do it more, because you're wasting my time. And any court that I go to will recognize my right, and you will pay me. Okay? But listen to this guy here. He hasn't identified any utility. They come to find out 75% into their project. 75% completion. They find out now they have LEC pole is in the way. So now he's bringing that to the attention of the president of the Republic of Liberia. As someone who is not an engineer, let alone a construction person. And apparently the contractor have already had a discussion with the minister. He's getting ready to throw the minister on the bus. I love this part. When maybe this is something, when I do this, I love the part and I love the people, oh, the opposition. I love it. I love it when I do that. But anyway, folks, let me just play this video now. Listen to it. The president of the Republic of Liberia is going to be he's not angry, but he was surprised. Even as layman as here, when it comes to construction, what? You guys been doing all the thing, and then you just find out that you have a lipo in a way. So he asked, so he said, oh, so the lipo in a way. Listen, very low, big voice. Oh, so the lipo in a way. And then the minister said, yeah, lipo in a way. And these are people, when I say this, then they say I'm opposition. These are people that are being entrusted to do a complex job like the Ravelfield ERWA junction, 4-lane highway. A construction job is not something to sneeze at. You're asking somebody to take what you took from your brain and put it on the paper, and you expect the person to take it from the paper and put it on the ground exactly how it is on the paper. It's not easy. It's not easy. That person have to be thinking just like the designer. Because there will be places that he himself, once he start working, there will be places on that during the project that he will find it difficult. And then they call the engineer. What was your intent? What were you trying to achieve here? And these are people that cannot recognize and refuse to recognize that there is a electrical LP, how do you call it? PU, no, not PUA. What are the electrical people in Liberia? What are the LEC? LEC pole is in the way, folks. Samson told LeBron Public. Listen to this.
Road embankment, we have this. The most important part is the pavement, which is the placement of the asphalt base course, which is what we're looking at now. We've gone 1.3 kilometers. So it means we have 7 more kilometers to finish with the first 2. Then our concentration will be on the intersection, which is the red light intersection, where we have possibly overpass. And then following that, the concentration will go on in the next 4 kilometers, which is from the red light to the LFA junction. For that one, towards the end of this month, we start to compensate the project affected person. We start to pay them, and then when they clear, we start up the work. Overall, we look at the work being completed within 2 years because of the urban nature that we have. But I think the minister will relate concerning the level of challenges that we have. Like for example, in terms of the light posts, all right? Because in some instances, we have some light posts there, so that is a potential, issue that will delay, us. But we've been working with LEC in terms of that. Road embankment, we have this.
Folks, did you hear that? Oh, the light pole in the way the president asked question. Samson told LeBron Public. And so when these kinds of things happen, and sometimes I listen to this, I play this thing over and over until one day I was listening. I said, "What? What? Are you serious? Are you serious? Let me go and isolate this thing here." So I went and isolated a particular aspect. Okay, the sad thing is when the president go places, people be singing, so you don't hear the conversation. But one thing I love about Liberian press, they got their microphone right there, taping everything. Okay, let's go to the main topic tonight. I want to welcome all of you again and tuning into Liberian Public Radio. We appreciate it. Let's go to the main topic. But before we go to the main topic, let me say something here very quickly. I want to take this opportunity now to thank the government of the Republic of Liberia, CDC, of their weekend retreat. It was massive, massive, massive. It was unbelievable. It was of success. There's no question asked. Even I who said no, you're not even running for Senate. Said myself, I'm scared. When I see the people turning them myself, I'm scared right away. I say, they come on election here, it's not going to be easy. We the Liberty Party, but we got to double our effort, folks. The massive turnout was unbelievable. And I think CDC achieved to show their strength. One of the things that I know about sedition, even though I call them tiny sedition, but one thing I do know, loyalty, they don't fool around with it. During the election, I have my brother was in Liberia. He's also a Liberty Party member. And during the election, general election, while he was there, in the war room he was, and I keep calling. How is it? He says, Samson, it's not going to be easy for us. One of the things he noticed, and which is true of sedition, Liberty Party will come out and say, okay, we want to print t-shirt. They will expect Liberty Party members now. Liberty Party members themselves will expect the Liberty Party leadership to go and buy the t-shirt, print them out, and then members will wear them. Whereas sedition, he said, if the new count and say we want print t-shirt and wear the sedition themselves, they don't even get 5 cents, they will go and buy the t-shirt, print it, and then wear it. How are you going to defeat somebody like that? Someone who you say you want to wear t-shirt, as soon as they announce it, They go and find the money themselves. They're not waiting for party headquarters to buy t-shirt. They go and find the money themselves. Print the t-shirt. As long as they know the logo or whatever it is the leadership want to print. Print the t-shirt. After buying it, now print the t-shirt, then they wear it. So as far as CDC is concerned, the loyalty with those young people is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And so when I saw the massive turnout, at first I thought there was going to be an earthquake on Attorney Tubman Stadium. And then I realized, no, Attorney Tubman Stadium, it wasn't built on mud. I think was in Cloud Town, then we're going to be worrying. But in Montreal, I played that solid rap, man. So, but anyhow, they did well. And I take my hat off to all sedition. Thank you. We appreciate it. I'm one of those. I've been, from the beginning, I said sedition, they were not disciplined. They don't have discipline. I used to run my mouth here. Oh, CDC ain't got no discipline, man. They got nothing. CDC will not win nothing. I was all over this place. And then I went home after the election. And then I was in Liberia during the inaugural program. And after that, I went to visit CDC. No, before the inaugural, I went to visit CDC headquarters. The place was packed. And so I drove in their compound. I was brave, my people. I was brave. So I drove in there, but they didn't know who I was. They didn't recognize me. They didn't know that I was running my mouth on there all the time. They didn't know that. So they have sets of security. Okay? As you enter the first set, the young man said, "Oh, Papi," that me you call Papi at 25-year-old. He said, "Oh, Papi, put your car over here." I put my car on the side. He said, come on, you gotta have my press badge for me. He said, come on, hey, press, come on. He took me and turned me over to their chief of security. I said, "Hey, Sansinto, what you can do in the CDC? They will flock you to." I was scared, petrified, to be honest with you. But you know the kind of thing when you're scared, you don't show people that you're scared. But I was scared. So the man said, "Oh, you press?" I said, "What's your name?" I called my name. I thought I wanted to say John Brown. But then my badge showed that I'm Samson to LPR. I said, "Oh my goodness." So anyway, I gave him my name. He said, "Okay, come on." So he took me. Moruba Moru was on the stage speaking. So he took me while Moruba Moru was speaking. He took me underneath the tree itself, and I had so many pictures here. Took me underneath the tree. He said, "Take picture." And you press, you take picture. Don't worry. He's speaking. Don't worry. Just take a picture. And when the security was talking, nobody bothered me. Nobody. I started taking pictures and stuff like that. After I was done with all my pictures, the main thing I wanted to take pictures of, and I did, is to show my face. You know, bending my face and showing my camera with the sycamore tree above me. Oh, I got that picture. So I did that. And I went on the side. Still after, Moruba Moru came up to me and said, "Papi, you got any question?" Apparently, he must have recognized me. And I see, as soon as he started walking to me, he said, "Papi," I said, "Hey, the teacher will whoop me here today." So, but anyway, I was able to put on my brave face and ask him a question. I said, "Mr. Moru, I will be honest with you. I'm one of those from LPR Samson, but I've been one of those who've been singing the praises that you people, CDC was not disciplined, and that you people were not able to govern anything." And the question I asked him was very much important at that time. You remember they used to go to court, they was in court. So I said, "How were you able to maintain the peace? How were you able to hold your people together during all of the court proceedings and everything?" You know what he told me? And look it up. You'll find it on the video. He told me, he said, "Look, before the people used to come in here and try to aggravate us and trying to make us to react to whatever they're doing, then they say we rule. But this time we told ourselves we will wait because we knew we were going to win. So there's no reason for us to go here and there Whatever the law say, we will abide by. And we were smart this time, oh man. I say, yeah, you're smart. Then immediately after that, Jefferson Kochi came up. And when, folks, this is sidebar tonight. It's Monday afternoon. Why not? So when Jefferson Kochi came, he was giving his stuff. So I wanted to leave. So the security guy said, oh, no, the youth leader. But from the beginning, I never really clicked with Jefferson Kochi. Not that I don't like him. What I never appreciate is the way he speaks. He take these adjectives, here word, then put it together, boom, and then he said that big word. I don't like that. I really don't like that. You want to talk simple so people will understand. You come on to political gladiator, political nyama, all that. What I got to do anything? So I said, no, I don't want to be around. I got to go. So I left anyway. That was my staying with CDC in Samson Toe. I was at their compound. And another thing I want to point out to you, right next to their compound, they got what they call Lapa Bido. If you think I'm lying, right next on the right-hand side, if you face the compound on the right-hand side, they got a place what they call Lapa Bido. I got soup from there one time. I'll sleep for 3 days. I thought the thing I used to do long time ago when I was in Monterey, I thought I can do the same thing. I got the soup from there. I'll sleep for 3 days, but you know why. So anyhow, let me go on. So I want to take my hat out again tonight for CDC members that you guys continue to improve. I hope that this massive showing of force will give you now the real idea and see if you can improve the lives of many, many Liberians. However, Dr. Weir himself, if you go and read that statement, he asked for CDC to be mature. So the question is, so Samson Toe has been right all along. Because for the president to say, let her be mature, that means they were not mature before. But anyway, that's that. So I want to say thank you to CDC for their massive showing. And that's just to show. But don't take it for granted. Don't think, say, you got this thing, the senatorial position back in the bag. Far from it. Dallas Dillon, he has positioned himself. You can't just kick him out of the... Now you tell me, if you're going to go run against Dallas Dillon, what are some of the things you're going to say that he has done that is not in the interest of people of Monserrate County? He reduced his salary. The new person who come in, that the first question they're going to ask, the new person who want to be senator, you're going to reduce your salary? So you see how he backs you guys in already? You can't say because they voted for Dallas Dillon, they were angry, now they're going to take their vote back. No, far from it. Far from it. Because not only did he reduce his salary, you saw him publicly giving money back to the community. So Dallas Dillon has positioned himself to be a serious person to contend with. So by you showing the massive force like that, don't think that you have this senatorial position in your pocket. Far from it. If you're going to get it, you're going to have to put on a fight. Serious one. I mean, not face fight, literally, no. I mean politically. Okay? So other than that, Liberty Party will whoop you again. They did it before, they will do it again. I tell you right now, I'm playing with you. Samson Toe, LeBron Public Radio. Okay, let me go on to my show here tonight, folks. Let's talk about the role now. It's been a wonderful evening, folks. Let's talk about it. Our IA role. The people are talking about making Liberia from EW Junction all the way to Roberts Field to the airport, a 4-lane highway, which is good. I really applaud the president to come up, but this idea's been around for a while, but he's taking it to the next step. However, like I said, I'm going to inject some politics into here tonight, but it's not of my own. This is just for you to know. My reason of bringing this up is the company that they're asking to do the construction. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I don't mind eating crow right before you. Even if you want me to eat a crow with a feather and things like that, I will do so right before you. Okay? I don't believe that this company, the East Construction Company, they have the capacity to do these kinds of complex highway construction. Here's some of the reason. These people, when you go Google them, maybe they set up a number. Ever since I've been Googling, you can't see them. They don't have a website for people to look at their previous work. Nothing. They've done job before in Liberia. They constructed rigid pavement, what they call rigid pavement. I call it driveway. That ain't no rigid pavement. That's driveway. And I will show you guys that Wednesday. I call it driveway. But let's just give it to them for what they call it, rigid pavement. Behind BTC, okay, they did that road. And when you see the construction pictures, it was terrible. It's terrible. They had yes. When you're doing these kinds of stuff, concrete makes design. They have different type of components. Mainly, they have soil. Well, let me take that back. Mainly, they have aggregate, stone, rock. And the rock, they have different categories of those rocks you can mix. Then they have sand. Then they have the paste, which is Portland cement paste. Okay. Then they have water. Then they have air. Those are the type of ingredients that you have to put together to be able to make a concrete. Whatever form. Whether you're making it for rigid pavement, or you're making it for columns in a house, or you're making it for the beam, or you're making it for floor, or you're making it as a foundation. But those ingredients, they will always be in it. How you mix them up, what percent you use to achieve certain level of strength of that concrete depends on how you do it. And I'm not going to sit down here right now and show you how to do the mix design. But you can determine how, for example, the concrete, usually if you do concrete, then you set it aside to break it. 1 day breaking, 9 day breaking, 28 day breaking, 91 day breaking, to see at what stage will you achieve certain strength of the concrete. And that's why when, what's his name, Judy Moore came out here and tell us, oh, concrete love water. I was laughing. Water is part of the concrete, but it has to be a specific percent in the mix design. You're not just going to say because it's raining, Liberia, therefore, concrete. No. That's why when they were building the Doe community, when they decided to put up self-made box cover, they were building it in the rain. And when they poured the concrete, if you look at the picture, they already, because it was rainy, you already have separation. That thing will not last. Oh man, I beg you. It will not last because first of all, when you mix the stone, the rocks, the paste, and the sand and the water, when you mix them in a percent, because you have to make them to a specific percent. Let me tell you this right now. In the 5 ingredients that I just gave you, 70% of it is aggregate. Okay? Now, if you mix the water and the paste, which is a cement, if you mix them together, how much percent you put in there will give you the durability, the workability, the strength of the concrete. All of that depends on how you mix them. Okay? Yes, all these things I'm telling you, here's what I'm trying to get at. When East Construction decided to, when you look at the picture, first of all, they're building a road that is next to the beach. You don't have to be an engineer to know about corrosion. They're building a road next to the beach with steel in the concrete. when you're doing those things, you have to put some sort of a steel, what they call epoxy. You have to coat it with rubber, okay? And the coating of these steel rod prevent the salt water, the salt element to corrode the steel in it, okay? The corrosive effect will be eliminated by the binding of the rubber again all over the steel. And what I mean by that is this. You see this? You see this here? You see the yellow thing? That's steel rod. And heavy. Okay? But you see, I agree. They put rubber all around it. So when they put it in an area where the salt or anything would touch it, because in the area where this construction was happening was up in the north, way up in the valley, up in the mountain, where the snow happened here in California. And when the snow happened, what do they use? Those of you that are in the East Coast, they use salt to melt the snow and clean the road. So when you have the salt going into your concrete and touching your steel bar, you want to prevent that. You want to make sure the corrosive effect is eliminated by coating this stuff. They didn't look at all of the pavement, concrete pavement they did in Liberia. None of those steel epoxy coated, none. They're all raw steel. Raw steel. Okay? And those are kinds of stuff that I'm trying to point out to people. I don't hate anybody. But those are things that's supposed to be part of the conversation. If you want to build road, you want to do construction, you must be able to understand why these things are required. You're building a road right next to the Atlantic Ocean. It's about, the road itself is about maybe 25, 50 feet or 75, not even 75, 75, I would just say 75 feet away from the ocean. You know how many salt breeze coming onto that side? And they mix these. If you look at the concrete itself, it's all white. If you're going to mix it, I'm not too sure if they were able to mix their mix design against the element. I'm not too sure. Then they went to Banga Broad Street. There are people who are not even engineers. There's a lady that was selling in the street, and she looked at it and said, no, you people did not do a good job. What kind of concrete the people putting down so? It don't look good. They notice it. Because when you don't mix them correctly, your mix design is not the way it's supposed to be. You got what they call separation. The sand will start falling away from the stone. The stone will start falling away from the concrete paste. And then you have separation. And when you have separation, because the stone will always, because the friend, stone and stone stay together. Sand and sand stay together. Concrete paste and concrete paste stay together. But your intent is to mix them up properly so they will bind together. And you fool them. You think that they're brother and sister. But they're not. But if you don't do it right, you have more water in it than the paste. Or you have more paste in it than the water. Then you have separation. And when it's separated, you know what happened? The concrete, the rock in it, because the rock is heavy. You hear the story where water will carry rock? I something told in America where water will carry rock from toe town. Ain't nobody can do anything to me because water cannot carry rock. You not hear that, right? So the rock comes on top and the sand fall down to the bottom. So it's the paste. Now you have all rock showing up. How are you going to travel that to be able to smooth it out? And that's why you don't want separation. Go look at the people road. These are kinds of stuff that I'm trying for people to understand. You don't just put concrete down and you move on. And but Wednesday I will show you some of their work. Okay? These are the people the government is asking for Liberians to believe and trust them that they will construct the Rawafi, our major, serious highway in our lifetime. 4-lane highway. Yeah, you can say, but something to ain't got 4-lane highway in total. Yeah. The road that go to my mom farm, that 4-lane. We go in the money. My pa finish hunting, he coming home. We coming home in the afternoon. My pa went back to go hunt. The 4-lane. Hey, that's the kind of 4-lane you're talking about. But this particular one is a 4-lane highway that hopefully, God bless us, that our children will be able to utilize in the future. None of us. I have not seen the design. I'm Blaku. I can put my nose around. You remember when the pro started their how do you call it, the agenda, the pro agenda? I was one of the few Liberians here in the diaspora that were able to get it. God, I know who to contact, but this time around they're dry. All my contact, they're telling me they don't have copy of the drawings. They don't. Minister, then they will not come tell us what's going on. Nobody know. Seriously, I've not had any Liberian engineers that will say, "Oh, yeah, they know who did the design according to the story, but they can't get their hand on them." How do you expect people to review these things? These things must be reviewed, no matter what. Let them point it out to you. Okay? Then they haven't done that. So the question that I keep asking, and people think I'm an enemy of the state, so be it. If what I'm saying here tonight, if I'm insulting anybody, please stay so. If what I'm saying here tonight, if I'm against the government, please stay so. If it means for me because I'm saying that certain people or the contractor do not have the ability to do this complex work, does it mean I'm against the government? They have no other choice. Because I'm a Liberian. I'm not talking about Sierra Leone Road. I'm not talking about Guinea Road to poke my nose in people's business. I'm not even concerned with the money. We'll talk about the money issue later. But the future utilization of this road is what I'm concerned with. Because if you do well on this road, the international community will look at you and say, yeah, these people are serious. And I bet you, if this road is truly designed in Italy, as people are saying, then I'm sure the Italian designer will most likely give you standard based on actual design. They're not going to just give you something from Total. No way. Okay? Now, another thing here I want to point out. So the last time, and before I do that, let me just play you now the video with my own little handiwork in it. This is the video that the government of Liberia, because you can find it on the Executive Mansion website, on their Facebook website, and some of the mouthpiece of the government in the diaspora, they've been playing it. Some of them been crying and stuff like that. But this video that I'm about to play for you is what they said the road most likely would look like it. I warn you, and as an engineer, I warn you, the video you're going to be seeing is a schematic. Okay, conception. It's not real. Because if they say all of the things that you're going to see there, if they say they're going to build it, they ain't got the money. They ain't got money to build that kind of thing. In fact, nobody will allow you to put guardrail the way they put them anyway. Okay, it's not standard. But they just make it like that because it's good to the eyes. So let's just go with it for now. But I'm just telling you, this is not how the road is going to be constructed. But let's watch this video, and then after that, then I will come back and play how this contractor, according to Senator Sir Joseph, Honorable Senator Sir Joseph of Moserado County. I will play the video of him explaining how East International Construction Company got hold of this contract. It's very interesting, his explanation. Very interesting. But I will hope that you stick around to listen to it. In the meantime, let me just now play you the role according to the people of the Republic of Liberia, their leadership. They said this is what they're going to give us. Four-lane highway. And please, and you don't want me to talk about it. You want me to be quiet. Why I'm here every day, design California Road, then when it comes to Liberia, I'm not saying I want to design it. Far from it. That's not what I want. But I want to make sure that it's done correctly. Going share my mouth here, I would continue to talk. Samson told LeBron Public Road, let's listen to this. Oh, Alfonso gonna kill me tonight. Yeah, I don't get that. So okay, well, whatever. Let's play.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win. All I do was win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go here with eat you. And when I feed it, it will hurt. When I need it, it will ju. Yes, sir. All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win. All I do was win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire the person, Holy Ghost fire the person. Turn the fire the person. All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win. All I do was win. They will see a koro with a BB eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. They will see a koro with a BB eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. All I did was win. All I did was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. All I did was win. All I did was win. born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win.
I'm saying to LIBERIA Public Radio, there you have it. Before I go on to Sir Joseph's statement here, let's just take 1 or 2 minutes of your time here to listen to this commercial that we're trying to put together here. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, let's listen in as well.
Hello, how you doing? This is Uncle Musa, the owner of Uncle Musa Grocery in Philadelphia. The first store is Uncle Musa Grocery, Philadelphia, 6523 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Urban Faction, 6590 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Grocery, 804 Gary Road, Upper Darby, Philadelphia. We carry all African products, food, clothing, mostly Liberian food. If you need anything from Liberia, just call Uncle Musa Grocery. You can go to Google. If you just say Uncle Musa Grocery, Google will take you ahead to show you where to get us. So whatever you need from Liberia, if you go to any Uncle Musa Grocery, we will make sure you get what you want. And if you want to send rest to Liberia, we will send rest to Liberia and deliver to your family.
There you have it, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. If you want to send right to Liberia, contact Uncle Musa, and they will do that for you. Let's get back on the roll. So, as I stated here, I want to show you now Sir Joseph's statement, his explanation of how East International Group got the contract to do this role. It's amazing. It's amazing. His explanation. I'm not too sure, but let's listen to that. Let's listen to that. And if the audio is not that great, we'll make it great next time. But let's listen to Sir. This is Honorable Senator Sir Joseph explaining to us how East International Group, the group that I think do not have the capacity to do this complex work. And Sir Joseph will tell us this. He's not going to say they don't have the capacity, but listen to his explanation of the type of role that they were going to build or that they were involved with. And these are the kinds of stuff that I will do my research and bring it to you come Wednesday or Friday for sure. Samson, let's listen to Sir Joseph, please.
Okay. Two of your colleagues this afternoon, Senator Oscar Cooper and Senator Darius Delon, accuse you of reported kidnapping with representing their current spirit to say that the upper house did pass on the project that is to modernize the RIA highway, and whereas in their mind such action was never taken. And they went further by saying you lied this morning on OKFM. What do you have to say, sir?
Let me thank you, members of the press. Thanks very much. In my response, to the statement that they made, the issue of East Construction Company, that document was ratified during the 53rd legislature, where I was serving as a representative. As representative of District Number 30, the ratification of those documents, 4 roads from District Number 13 was inclusive in that agreement. Battery Factory Road, Chocolate City Road, New Georgia Road, Tusafi to Banavie Estate. That document was ratified since the 53rd legislature, but then Sir Joseph was in the House of Representatives. We even had a groundbreaking ceremony in District Number 13 for East Construction Company to come and start the construction. Now, the government of Liberia, headed by President George Weah now, requested that since East Construction Company that to construct these roads, including the road leading to President Salif Farm and Doe community, saying he's already doing it. He is requesting the Honorable Liberian Senate to advise him what should he do with those concessions, with those finance agreements that were already signed and ratified by the legislature from the East Construction, with the East Construction Company. The Liberian Senate said it is not the prerogative of the Senate to advise the executive. It's the job of the executive to take a decision. So therefore, the matter should be given back to the leadership of the Liberian Senate to discuss with the East Construction Company, to discuss with the government of Liberia on those agreements. Now, the leadership of the Liberian Senate took the matter, having discussed with the executive, and concluded that, okay, we will go ahead with the contract, and then they brought a communication asking the Liberian Senate to concur with the Honorable House of Representatives with the agreement that have of this construction, that this money now be turned over to RRA to do the construction. The House of Representatives passed on it and sent it to us for concordance. It was read on the floor. A motion was made to approve and concur with the Honorable House of Representatives.
Okay. Two of your colleagues this afternoon, Senator Oscar Cooper and Senator Darius Belon, accuse you of reported.
There you have it. He's explaining to us that during the 53rd legislature, they approved a contract with the East International Group Construction Company to do certain role. But according to him, when this government came in, they decided to, instead of going back on the drawing board, because they felt within themselves, according to him, that the government, the legislature, the 53rd legislature have already ratified a different sets of contract with East International. But the fact that they wanted to do the Robberfield Highway, they then took the contract that was already rectified from the East International and replaced it with the Robberfield Road. But according to him, instead of the people coming back to the Senate or the representatives to ratify that, they say, okay, well, we already have ratification process. So why don't we just exchange? I'm not too sure if that's how you do this legislature business. I'm not too sure. But I just thought that I play it. You can make the judgment as to whether this was even right to do that. Okay. Now, when they did that, the East, the other stuff that I will play for you come Wednesday, the East International East International Contract Group, a construction company, now was giving the Robberfield Highway, I think it's 95 million or something like that, and now they according to Mr. Joseph. According to the Honorable Joseph, Senator Joseph, the public work minister now finding another. They said they already found another company to do those little projects, and now they're going to have East International Group to do the Robberfield Highway. The question that I have, I'm not too much into the politics of it. I just thought that I played that because that just showed to me. Because if you're going to give East International to do the complex construction such as Robberfield 4-lane highway, what is their track record? You can't tell me because they build Doe Community Road, therefore they have the ability or capacity to build a 4-lane complex highway where you're going to have roundabout, where you're going to have interchange. How are they going to do that? I just don't see it. Now, another thing I want to point out to you here tonight is this. The road itself, Robberfield and how do you call it, and EW Junction. From EW Junction going all the way to Suffering. It's what you call urban area. They got houses everywhere. Okay. How do you get those that are within the right of way, present right of way? I don't know. And that's one of the things that is really difficult for me to speak to, because I do not have the plans. But let's just suppose the current right of way, let's just suppose it's 70 feet. Okay? 70 feet. Okay, let's just say 90 feet, 45. Okay? And say they're there when you go in there, and then you're going to put add 2 more lane on that. So obviously you're going to go double 95 now. Where do you get the land from? How do you purchase that land? According to the story, they said they have $70 million set aside for that. I don't know the land value in Liberia. But definitely you cannot go and use eminent domain on anybody in Liberia to take their land because you want to build. Of course, Ralphie Highway, you can call it security issues and stuff like that. But if these people put together and take the government of the Republic of Liberia to the international court or to ECOWAS court, the government going to lose. You can't win a case like that. So I'm saying to you, first of all, have they done a serious feasibility study? This is not community road. This is a major highway. You have bridges in there. You have huge hills you're going to have to cut for you to certify the international standard. International highway standard. To certify that. How are they going to do that? Okay? So you must have some sort of a feasibility study. Maybe they've done that. What are the estimate? What kinds of agreement do you have with the community that the road is going to go through? Have you talked to each one of those people that are going to be affected? Do they know where to go? They're going to do what the government coming, how they're going to be moved, all of those things. Has the government even had some sort of capacity building of neighbors in that area, in the community, where you go and do dog and pony show? The road going through here. This is what's going to happen, and this is what I keep saying and now they most likely going to call me again after tonight's show again. They're going to take me to be enemy of the state. Communication is so vital, and it's very cheap. But our people do not want to utilize the cheapness of communication. You put a road in Doe community. If you were to go to Doe community right now and ask them, which one of you that will do all you can, for example, if this road start washing away and you have the means to stop it, will you do it? Many people say, no, I'll take my thing and get out. Because the road that you're building for these people, you have to tie the people along with the rope, with the road, so they will be able to feel that they are part of that process. And this is what is lacking. You're going to build a wonderful, wonderful road like this in the community, going from EW Junction all the way to Suffering. Like I said, it's an urban area. Many people in that area will be able to utilize this road. But you have not had any kinds of capacity building process. I've never heard it. Where the government will have publicized on their website, on the internet, on the social media. Or today, to talk to the people of and please forgive me, I don't know the name of these different communities that are along that highway. I'm just making it up, but I do know a few of them. Rehab. People that are living in the rehab that are going to be affected by this rule. Let's have a meeting. And one of the good things Liberians have going for them is that each one of these communities have a community leaders. And so when you put the community leaders together and say, let's have a conversation, you make them feel that this road is not just for Samson Toe to drive on. This road belongs to them. And if you do that, they will tell you their peace of mind. And eventually they will be convinced that because of this road, the economy in that area is going to be improved. But no communication coming out from anybody. Nobody, you're not even here again until they start doing the construction. The same thing that I show you here, there's a video. They road that I showed you earlier where they're doing the red light. There's a video. Overnight, and I will show you the video by Wednesday. Overnight, they took their excavator and put it in the middle of these people market area. In the morning, the people came, the machine was there. They said, very well, please, we got to sell. And now they want to get rid of the people that are trying to sell around the machine. Then people complaining, Liberian people laying improvement. We're trying to help them here. Now they all don't want to move. Because you never had communication with these people. Explain to them. They might resist you. Because you're trying to interrupt their process. That's human nature. But you as a leader, you must be able to understand that make these people your friend. If you're going to carry any development in any country, any part of the world, it's going to affect people. And those that are going to be affected, they don't care about what the future is. They're talking about right now for them. But you bring them on board, explain to them that they might feel hurt right now, but in the long run, in the future, they're all going to benefit. If you go on with that kinds of process, anytime you do think people will work, because they will understand. They will understand. Go to Doe community right now and tell me how many people taking care of that road when they find a baby diaper in the street or near the drainage system or something. They're going to take it up before they clog the drainage system. How many people do that? They see it, they pass by it. And the government can't clean it. Because from the beginning, you never made that community road part of the community. You made it part of the government project. And so they don't have no interest of maintaining or cleaning it. But if you make them feel that we're putting a road here, what are the criteria? Why did we select you people for this? And you make them feel we selected you because X, Y, and Z. We could have taken the road and taken it all the way to Cloudtown, but we want to do it here. Make them feel that they're part of the process. And every time you do that, people will embrace you. And there will be people, don't get me wrong. Not everybody will be in favor of it. But if you can clearly demonstrate the benefit, future benefit for the community, those who are going to resist you will not be that many. And the community members themselves will try to convince their other member who is resisting to say, look, these people came here to talk to us. Why can't we listen to them? You're not going to do that on this Ralphie Highway. Now you're going to give it to East Construction Company. They're going to go out there. They're going to put out whatever they want to put out. Because you have not done any kinds of serious communication with these people in the community. I called somebody the last time when I heard about the East. So I don't know who East Construction Company was. I have no clue. So I called. And this person, hierarchy member in the whatever So I called. I said, who is the person just told me something? Do your research. Go look at the name of that street behind the barracks, behind BTC. They have a name of it. Redemption Road. Go look at Redemption Road. I said, what? So look at this BTC. BTC all called. They got Redemption Road. I look at it. Nothing good. And these are people that are going to be doing a work. They said some of the houses along the Ralphie Highway have already been marked. You know what kind of anxiety that you're putting people through? The person's house is marked for demonstration, demolition. If you're going to demolish people's road, people's houses, where are they going to go? If you explain to them, if you have a genuine communication and feel their pain and feel, look, we have to do this. It's going to affect people for now. But in the long run, all of you will benefit. So bear with us. And those who the government going to compensate them. But even if you have all of the money that you're going to give to people, but you're removing some, to bring change in somebody's life, you know how difficult it is for that person to accept it. Some of the houses that might be marked for demolition, they got their children were born in there. They got birthday party have gone on. They got, the kind of memory they got in that place. That out of a second, you're just going to say, we need to get rid of this. Make them feel that this is okay. The change is coming. Many people talk, oh, we want change. But when you bring the real change, I can't change. I want it to be on the other side. Now that change will not come to me. The change should not affect my area. Let go on that side. Let bring that change from that side. Then it can come to me small. That's how people think. That's human nature. But you as a person in charge of this and getting ready to do this thing, your biggest tools you have for you to truly to be successful is the tool of communication. You tell the people, be truthful with them. It's gonna hurt, but if you're truthful with them, they'll go to bed at night that you didn't lie to them. Number one, they will go to bed at night, they're going to be conflicted, going to be debating. Why should I allow this thing? Look at the person on the other side. Then if I knew we all came here to buy the land, if I knew I would have gone the other side. All of those things going to happen to them. But as long deep inside they feel that this person was truthful, and they're not doing it because they're in power. Once they start turning your idea, your political, your development idea, they start turning, oh, these people think, hey, that didn't do it, that the people think, what you said, that government, then you're no longer succeeding. And this is what I want to talk about tonight. If this road is going to be done, it's going to affect people. Already it's a 2-lane highway. People build houses. You know how close your houses are in Monrovia to the road. Some people, they're in the right of way. There's no question asked. But even as that, they're in the right of way. You have to convince them that they're in the right of way. You go, first thing you start doing survey, lay out. Show the existing right of way as purchased. Show them as bill that was done back in the 50s. See the player? You the line. You see the red line? You see the other red line? This is 1950 drawing. Look at this. You're inside. You're not supposed to be here. Hey, but the people saw the land. They praying after the war. We came back. The people said that their land. So they sold the land to me. What do you want me to do? We understand. I'm not saying it's your fault. But I want to show you why we're saying that you're inside the right of way. These papers come from public work. We're not making it up. He's going to say no. And the government must be able to provide some sort of incentive for them to move. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. What we're talking about here tonight, they're not something that you can sneeze at. Development have consequence. Changes have consequence. You can't just get and blow mind your wine. People will be hurt in the process. But every one of us must think about the future for the next generation. But you can't sit down and expect these things to happen overnight, that people will embrace you because the CDC have a retreat and they got 4 million people turned out. Therefore, everybody that will embrace the idea of CDC developmental agenda. Far from it. Far from it. CDC and this government must work, must continue to work. Continue to demonstrate to the Liberian people that whatever it is that the president is proposing is in the best interest of the Liberian people. There are people who will see that this is in the best interest of the Liberian people, and they will utilize it for political gain, for political reason, to try to bring this thing into a form of being a politically motivated idea. But sedition and those who are working for the government must also be on the other side to challenge that idea, that this is not politically motivated idea because we want to put Roe here so that Dr. Weah will retain his position. It might be some kind of a cause effect. Whether Roe people like it, they keep him. But that must not be the sedition. Those people that are working in the government must explain to the Liberian people that this is not because we want to be re-elected. We're doing it for the future of this country. People will not believe you. They'll say, oh, man, tell you, follow man, in our political business, you put Roe here. It might be the cause effect, but it might not be the reason. The reason, and you continue to insist. The reason is because anybody that comes in this country, first thing they look at is the role, and they complain about it. And we have the opportunity to do something about it. We want to do it. Help us. You make them feel that they are part of the process. You make them feel that without them, this government cannot function. You make them feel like that. That this role, you need them more than they need you on this role. And if you do that, once the people embrace it, it's going to be hurtful, but that will lessen their hurt, to be honest with you. Okay, so all right. So anyway, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio Wednesday. Let me just throw something out here before I open the line up. You remember Dr. Weah had issue here one time about the plane that he fly, the way he got money from the buy plane. He said, no, I'm buying the plane. I'm paying $5,000 for the plane. Somebody, guy in Burkina Faso, let me use his plane. They told me, Mr. President, when you go in places, and I'm just paraphrasing now, if you go in places, it's not good for you to be borrowing here and there. You can use my plane. His friend from Burkina Faso. And that same guy was asked to do the coastal highway in Mofa or in Moma, whatever they name it. But I'll bring it up on Wednesday. Now, that company, I did an extensive research. They are not that. But you're not gonna get 100%, Samson told you. You're not gonna get 100%. You gotta. This is construction. Construction is always here and there. So there are no construction. Okay, but these people have the capacity. They have track record. They have done job in Benin. They have done job in the Ivory Coast. They have done job in Guinea. They have the capacity to do these things. And the question that I ask is, if this man would let Dr. Weah to borrow plane and he's in the construction business, and at one time Dr. Weah and his people went to him to do coastal road, why is it that they're not coming back to him to do this highway? So for me, there are two things for me to speculate on. Number one, their relationship wasn't as tight as people thought it would be. It was, number one. Number two, that the company himself is not capable of doing the kind of work that we want done on this road. Number three, the company don't want to be bothered because perhaps they're angry with they're not getting the coastal highway deal. Okay, so all of those things, but I'm gonna bring them up on Wednesday. All right, but for me, this company, I just don't see it as being a company that perhaps has the ability to truly capacity to truly give us the 4-lane highway. They don't have a website for people to even go on, and I've been trying to call people to talk to. I've been begging people to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me. Okay, and then like I said, somebody told me today, and I heard that from home as well, that they're not coming on our platform because they consider us opposition. So even if I'm opposition, I'm a Liberian first. Okay, folks, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. We're here again this evening. I'm going to be opening up the line. Mr. Amos George, if you're listening, let me see if anything here first. Let me make sure that I do have my stuff on. Okay. Okay, the device is on. Okay, Mr. Amos Joyce, if you're listening and if you're still on, give me a call. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Give me a call here, and so that give me your view, and then let's put a number up. Anybody you call, that's fine. Mr. George can call later, and when he call, we'll bust in him. Samson to LeBron Public Radio, folks. Let's have a conversation.
Juna
So another thing that I want, you can call me if you want, but another thing here in the United States, they, this is, people, crook people all over the world. They're not just in Liberia. Yeah, in the United States, specifically in Canton, Ohio, where they have Pro Hall of Fame. I lived in Canton for about 19 years or so. But anyway, I used to work for Stark County, which is the Canton and Stark County. Okay, Mr. George is on. Let's listen. Mr. George, thank you for joining us. What do you make of my statement here, my presentation so far?
Well, what you're saying is true. I told you that, like I said, the people will not come on this platform because they know your experience, your level of education. This is the area. They will not come. They won't come. Because all the issues you're raising, if the minister comes, you have to answer them. He can't tell you say he can't tell you say A when you know it's not A. You will ask him why I made it A. So this is the problem. But it was quite amazing yesterday. The deputy president was on a show yesterday on a platform, and I had the opportunity to ask him two questions. One was to the pertaining to the role, but there was no follow up. But the answer he gave, I asked the deputy press secretary, this role you were talking about, this company, International, I said they have a very bad track record in Liberia. All the contracts they are giving them, they are not finished them before. So why are you giving the contract to this company? Secondly, how did the bidding process go for them to be awarded this contract? And was the contract published in the paper for the Liberian people to see who all was bidding? And that was my question to him. And I will listen to his response. He said that the reason, that his justification, the reason that these people are not finished, they didn't finish most of the contract, they were not fully paid. That Mr. Tony answered, he said, how do people finish the job when you don't pay them all their money? So he told me, in other words, that all the contract they awarded to these people, they were not, the amount, they didn't pay them in total. So that's the reason these people have to hit the job. But it was just.
Are you with me? Hello? Hello? Okay, folks, Mr. George is not on. Hopefully he will call out by. Let me see. Mr. George, are you there? Mr. George? Okay. All right, he'll call back. Okay, that's Mr. Ibn George. But the statement, the point that I was making here, there's a place over there, and these things, just back to the road business, people got to be very careful, because it's a place right there in Canton, on 77 South, as you pass the city of Canton and going 77 South towards Virginia or whatever, West Virginia and stuff like that. But anyway, this is it used to be a little company, and as he heard that the highway transportation Department of Transportation was intending, the federal government wanted to widen the highway, he decided he was going to build a big factory hall, a big industrial complex next door to the highway, because he thought, and they were going to purchase, and as long as they were going to purchase, and he has the building up there, the property value now will go up, and if the government wanted, he will make some profit out of it. And guess what? Government too can do something. They reached the and said, my man, we saw you putting the building up. We're not paying fasten. So that particular area, as the road went up like this, it became narrow in that area. Yeah, Mr. George, go ahead, make your statement.
Yeah, and he said that the contract for that road, some money was given to this company. So in other words, they took that money, went to the road, and some saying, if the fund to construct the road, he said no, they are looking for money from the partner. So if to construct the road, why go ahead and break ground when you don't have the total funding control? And you are telling the country that will take 3 years to complete this construction. What guarantee that the funds will be available? Because they say the airport, and now Africans now are going to get some money. But my question is, what is the guarantee? And if this company and they don't have any time of doing this kind of massive construction, if they do fail, you will pay for that loan. Because I'm sure you want to make the Liberian government a guarantor for that loan. So if the company fulfill the loan, the Liberian government will be obligated to whoever that money will borrow from to pay it. So then, if you go down that path, it means that even the estimate cost of the road again will even be more.
Yeah, but Mr. Josh, if what you're saying, if he said that the company is trying to partner with another company, most likely the company that will be accepted, if the government really do their work, the company that will be accepted as being because the company that is going to partner with is going to be considered a subcontractor. So
no. He said they're going to partner. He said that they are looking for partner to borrow money from.
Oh, the Liberian government.
Yes. Because the money, I think he said the money that they have on hand, he did not call the figure, but the money they have on hand, it was the money that was avoided from that road from Bombing to Ellen Johnson Farm. And with the money that come there and they took that money from there. So those people in that area will not have road again. Now, if you take the money from someone for another construction to do another construction, the only thing you are depriving the other people of road. So
well, according to Sir Joseph, and I will play that Wednesday. According to Sir Joseph, is that the Public Works Ministry have already found a company that will continue the other road project that each company was supposed to have done. And so the contractor for that company, the contractor for that company has already been found, according to according to them.
Now, who is the chairman of Public Works? So, sir, who going to pay that company now? Where is the fund going to pay the company now? Because you have to
right.
That company is International. So I mean, they took that contract from International, and as going to Sir Joseph now, that they're going to fire or they have another new company to do it now.
Yeah.
The person said something. He said even when the design of the road is a cost of what 80 million. I think 80 million. That's the engineering is 80 million. I think 700 million for reallocation. Then I think 10. I wrote it down something. Then I think 10 for no consultant. Then he said there are some what he referred to some
miscellaneous
or something. Yeah, that they don't know actually what that okay miscellaneous is in there, and that brought the amount to 91,000
million.
But they 91 million, but nobody asked him because what the minister said and what was in the paper said 100 million and something. So that two figures there that we're playing around. But now the question that I'm saying, why the minister cannot come on your platform? Because you're an engineer and you are Liberian. And furthermore, why they are not consulting other Liberian engineers in Liberia to get involved with the process? Even if you could just ask for the people as consultants, for the Minister of Public, ask many engineers. You got an engineer such a why you cannot have anybody? And so in other words, the main justification is that he in the night was given this contract, they are capable of doing the work, but because the people when they are given to them, they are not being paid fully so they can complete the job. But Mr. Toby, a true Liberian, it's not just what you're going to hear contract to those people. If these people are not being paid, Why are you continue to do business with them? Why they can't say, you know what happened? People are not being paid, also will not be able to sign another contract with you people. But they do the job hardware or they do slaughter job, then you can't identify them because they have not been paid or not paid by previous government, so that's why they couldn't do their job. Is that real justification you gave for awarding this contract to these people? This year, Mr. Toll, we have a serious problem in Liberia. I was saying that Senator, you're now engineer. Why you can't tell all you figure out this? Because if the other engineer asks you the same different any question, they can't answer any of the questions relating to the figure that you're putting out there. You know, how they arrive at 80 million, how they arrive at 7 million to pay this, 10 million to pay that, how they arrive at it, all the questions. Senator, you will not be able to answer any of them. The Minister of Public or some representative from the Minister of Public, the one that's supposed to come on the air to address the issue so people can ask them the question, let it ratify all the money that the Liberians supposed to be paying. What is the benefit on this project? But it's saying that the government and the ministers, they have made up their mind and will make this noise. But I think at the end of the day, the contract will do it. If international will be the one chosen, they are already chosen, they don't want to do this work. Right. And I doubt it. With this country, with the country we're in today, and with the company trying to run in Nigeria, I doubt it. But they're going to do a standard international 4-lane road. I doubt it. I hope they will not add another lane to 1 lane, another lane to 1 lane. I'm telling you, Mr. Toll,
But even if they do that, their downfall will be the bridge.
But these people will do it.
Yeah, but I don't see them having to build a bridge across a river. It's not a easy task. So they can try to pull road here and there, you know, and it's gonna be interesting. They think about it. I hope Dr. Weah and his people will find reason to tell East International Construction Company to say, look, you got the job already. Go and find yourself a partner that have done these kinds of work before and share the money, and don't be greedy. Because if not, this thing will not hold. They just, and I will show some stuff here on Wednesday on some of their old jobs and things like that, and we can go through that. But anyhow,
the road was so clean.
Yeah.
The same one behind the executive mansion.
Yeah.
The pipeline road. Then they say, I think St. Mark, one of the bishop places in Ghana area there. They said they'll handle all the projects. All the projects are incomplete. Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Tobe, if you see that the government did not pay people the full money that what the project has been abandoned, is that just awarding this contract to them? I don't think so. They bid, go like Grand saw the pit. The engineer you're talking about, you can't see the engineer to go on any radio station to say, yes, we are the people that have been contracted this work.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
This is our past record. You don't see anything like that.
Right.
And yeah, but they turn out to embrace this role. But I know many times when we talk, they say we are the enemy of the state. But we're just seeing these things that if you want to use some of money, put that grant to them to do a piece of job, the job must be done according to standard. So tomorrow nobody can have a regret to say, oh, we put in our money.
Right.
In this country. We see them now on the construction of bridge. Now bridge will take 1 whole year plus. It will construction of bridge here. Some of the bridges we see here, it will construction. It will take all year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now what do you think about Liberia? So I don't know the logistics. Now look at the logistics of this company. Why the equipment? You don't see nothing to say, oh, these are yellow machines, the poor guys. Look at it 1 year. There's nothing like that. And but yet more, the Liberian, the ministers, the executive marshal, they have made a demand that this is the people that are going to get a contract. All we see here, we're just talking, at least to enlighten Liberians' mind. So you can say tomorrow, nobody was talking. everybody was silent.
Well, that's why I'm not going to give up on this. I will continue to.
So this is where we are, but we hope that the minister, we hope that the minister will be, or someone from the Ministry of Public Works, who is familiar with the process, can come on the show and it's just to tell us, how they arrive at this company giving the contract to them. Let it just tell like people the pros and cons.
What I'm gonna do, maybe this coming Saturday or so, I will try to contact the former Minister of Public Works, Mr. Victor Smith, and see if you will, because he's still in Liberia practicing engineering over there, and hopefully he will agree to come on and give us information, whatever information he knows about. But anyway, thanks a lot, Mr. Josh. We appreciate it. Thanks as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's just sad that you're gonna hear contract and you don't have any Liberian participation. That is very sad. Let me be very honest. It is very sad. Because if you put Liberian involved, whatever money they get, the money will stay in the country.
Exactly.
But you sideline all the Liberians, engineer, everybody, and you take that human money and give them. I'm not against people who are doing work, but at least let Liberian people get a piece of the cake because that is the resources.
Right.
Right. That is the resource. Let it get a piece of it. But as it will still be talking, and this is the Liberian Public Radio. We are not element. It's just that we're trying to raise concern about any development in Liberia.
That's right.
So thank you, Mr. So, and to the listeners.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, folks, give me a call here, 916-533-2048. That was the voice of Mr. Amos George, who is a Liberian analyst here as well, helping us to make sense of whatever it is that we're talking about. So the issue about the contractor, my thing is I have not seen them, demonstrating the capacity to build a 4-lane highway. Now, let me just show you something here quick. Here's some of the things that I'm talking about. A highway, you should look at the build up here, just like you're building a cake. You put one down here, another one. Let me answer. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
This is Mr. Jackson calling from Massachusetts. Braku, how are you?
Oh, not bad, Jackson. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Your first is open your door to come to that funeral. So most likely, if I don't get hotel, I'll be hosted by you.
This is
talk about the priest. I just kidding, but
you're coming to Sacramento?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. But here is my take. According from Ome George analysis, I'm sorry to say, when you have sophisticated, good brain, you talk, your show is so, sophisticated that you don't see people tap into it because the people don't get, the integrated part of those things that you are talking about, to me. And if you listen to Sir Joseph, I don't know whether he's making a case for the government or he's trying to dump the government because it's so funny when he said that contract was ratified when he was in the house. Mm-hmm. Am I right? He said that.
Yes.
And then because they tried to swap it for there was the road that was already, they were already approved for, and they tried to swap it with a contract.
Right.
With this project. Am I right?
Right.
Okay. Now, if I could get an understanding, that means that the whole idea is to swap funding.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think so?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We are trying to take money from this, to put it to this project because it means that, because the other projects, are being shown. And then later on, we can look for money, for those things. How I consider it to be.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes. And then you were saying that that's not how it's supposed to be because I never heard, for people, and for them to say they will send it to the house to ratify and you swap, and the project because you want to be funded. John Monkey called that, and the poor borrow system. People want to do things to get political, accreditation that they can get feedback from the community. And that's why I found out that Mr. Weir or the CDC government is trying to do to see whether they can fix the road to get credit, and they're the one who fix the road. As far as my knowledge is concerned with this, there's nothing on the road because you're making a good highway. According to that, I think it's what 90 million or 90 billion.
95 million, I think.
95 million. And I'm not an engineer, but from your talk and being listening to you, I believe that it will be more than that.
Exactly.
Because yes,
I agree with you.
Because from red light, if you put in 4 lanes, it's not only the 4 lanes. There is partition between the 2 other lanes and the 2 other lanes.
Right.
Now, just look at the layout from the junction to come to the sports stadium to come to ELW8. There are a lot of houses that have to be demolished, or that have to, they have to break down. And you understand? And it's not only one. They're gonna watch. If not take time, they will take a lot of houses. If they don't take time, some part of the 72nd barrier, they will eat up some lane. I'm telling you. That might eventually say, in terms of national security, they will say, no, we need to move the barrier because it's too close to the road. To me, that's why I see those things. Yeah. So I don't know whether, as they say, they did a thing because they look at the layout. It seems that some kind of European something that they decide, to say they will put. You see, they put their pins where they put there. It was so intuitive, that you see it. Oh yeah, there's a great job. But there are a lot of money involved into it. And I want to see, from your engineering point, if you could invite the Minister of Public Works. If you decide the Minister of Public, I want a technical person like you that will lay out, the waterway, how the bridges will lay out. I want to see it because I live in a place with you. You know what I'm saying? Look at, you coming from South, coming from all the way from 90 or from R5. You see that layout to come to Sacramento City itself? Do you think they're able to do that? I'm waiting to see that.
Well, you're quite right. You're quite right, because in order for you to do what they're trying to do, to put the road in a urban area, first of all, you're going to have to block people from crossing the road. Because that's a highway. You're talking about almost 45, 50 miles an hour. That's a highway.
Yes.
You're not going to have people crossing the road. Number one, in order to do that, how do you stop the noise of the car? These people that are going to be closer to the road, they have the right to be at peace at night. So you need things like sound wall and all I'm not too sure if these people I'm not too sure if they quite get what exactly they're putting themselves in here, But that's something, Mr. Eisen, that's something we're willing to do. We've been trying to get in touch with the minister. He hasn't picked up our phone yet. We send in texts and stuff like that. So if anybody out there that have access to the minister, we would really like to have him come on our show to have a conversation. But thank you very much, Jackson. We appreciate it, and we're hoping to be seeing you.
I just want to ask you one question. How do they connect that highway? Say, imagine from the junction. How do they connect it? Because this is a super highway. How do they do that connection? Because they have a church there.
The connection to how do you call it? To Kakata Morea Highway.
Yes.
Well, at the ELW junction, first they remember some time ago they said they were going to do a grade separation from all the way from Taylor House. All the way they're going to do a grade separation. And if they do that, then it's easy to do, because then you're going to go past ELBC before you drop it back to 0 grade. Okay, so then you're going to have some sort of off ramp. People coming from Monroe, they have an off ramp to go to ELW. People coming from ELW, they have an off ramp to go to Kakata, or they can do around and get back on the highway to go to Monroe. Those things can be done, except it's going to be very expensive. That's about the only thing.
Then the question is, the stadium is there. People cross.
Yeah, you saw in the schematic. They have a crossway overcrossing for pedestrian overcrossing, Those are things that can be done as well. You know, they right there by EWA Junction on AB Tower Road. There's the two buildings that are connected right now. I'm not too sure how when was the last time but I was one of those. I was there that night when we poured the concrete for the walkway. So that kind of walkway can be done in Monterey.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then we go over 95 million.
It's the money. It's gonna be expensive. But I'm just waiting to call to talk to some of these people. But thank you, Jackson. We appreciate it. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you here.
Thank you, Brocky.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Chief.
When I come here, I will give you a call.
All right. Okay. Well, maybe we'll just invite you to our show here and have a conversation. But thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Again, folks, if you're trying to call me here, give me a call, 916-533-2048. I'm going to be here until maybe another 5 minutes or so, and I'll be out here. But it's going to be an interesting, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, let me answer this. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
My name is Victor. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Thank you for joining us, sir. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have followed your numerous occasion, and I learned and love the engineering expert.
Thank you.
Expertise.
Thank you.
And I mean, my problem with this whole road connectivity that our president is trying to undertake, we have an engineer right in front of us. And, you know, the president said that the LIBERIA to be spectator. But I don't think he's true to his word, because perhaps he can get you to go to LIBERIA or LIBERIans as well to undertake huge project like that instead of giving it to some, and, you know, foreigner. I'm not against foreigner, but we have to be nationalistic as well. I live in Ghana. I want to school in Ghana, and I saw what Ghanaians did. But LIBERIA cannot even own a business. You have to pass, and you have to be the second chairperson. You know, and we're talking about $90+ million. That could be the economy for Liberian, you know, not just any kind of Liberian, but engineer that have experience. Because there's a free tutorial given to all of us, enlightening our mind. You know, it's so disappointing that our government is not looking in that direction. And I hope that when you get in contact with the Ministry of Public Works, you know, we all have to be true to ourselves, you know, and hold him to the fire and tell him, you know, to give you an honest, you know, answer regarding your concern or concern about the road connectivity. Because it's essential. There are a lot of properties that are going to be an eminent domain will take place, but those people have to be compensated based on the market value. You know, so I just thank you. I try to call to tell you that I appreciate your time and continue the good work. Let us not, you know, settle for less. We should always push, because God has given the opportunity for us to see, you know, what development is like, and we can impact our society as well. So thank you, Mr. Todd.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Folks, when you call and I'm not able to answer, that means someone else is online. I'm not going to pack people. You call and I say, wait, you know, I don't do that because that's when you have disturbing and things like that. So if you want to give me a call, wait. If I'm not answering, just give us some time and I will be answering your call. Okay, folks, basically the role, it's going to be a very interesting, that's why I'm talking about these people do not, I don't see them having, somebody who built Banga Broad Street and didn't finish, somebody who built Redemption Road looking like that will be the person in charge. You put that person in charge to build a Maria Ralphie Highway. Then we're not serious here, because it's going to require some real technical work, construction and the design. You have to be someone who has the experience, okay? And let me just say this here again. It's not like I'm here. Your bro call me. No, it's not like that. If I get called, okay, I don't mind helping. Samson told LeBron Pablo, what's your name, where you're calling from? I don't mind helping, but I'm not going to throw myself at anybody. No, I'm not going to do that. Go ahead. What's your name, where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
James David calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thank you for joining us.
What's on my mind is concerning this roof. You were talking about the bridge.
Yeah.
I believe where it's going to be expensive is after the bridge, after the hill. Because there's swamp go left and right.
Yeah.
And go all the way to Papa Ambush there, all the way there.
Yeah.
Then reaching to Ralph, yes, there also swamp.
Yeah. But as you talk, let's have a conversation. As you're talking about swamp right now, what I'm thinking about is in construction, they got what they call well points. The pipes, little tube of pipes, like maybe a little bit less than an inch round diameter, and they stick them out. And they stick just like you put a bunch of little stick in a swamp, but they're connected with tube. They're connected with tube. You put them in, but maybe some go like 5 feet, 6 feet deep, and they're connected with tube. But the pipe that goes in is perforated. It has hole all around it. So when they put it in a swamp, and this tube that is connected to the pipe is also connected to a machine, a pumping machine. So what it does, instead of pumping in there, it sucks the water out of the swamp, and they call well points. And it's very interesting to see. So those things can be done. It's not like they're not going to be to put even if you don't drain the swamp, as Donald Trump would say, if you don't drain the swamp, you can put in series of columns, concrete columns, piers all over this place. It's called floating foundation. They call it because they're on top. Of course, they go down to the bedrock. But you have these series of floating foundation that you can put your bridge over. So it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. It's just that people going to be able to understand.
What I'm thinking about is that when you really see carbon files the room. When
yes.
you really heavy carbon files then.
Yes.
Because the whole thing can be flowed there to put down hill all the way to the other side of the other small hill.
Right.
Then instead of 10,000 cents, the water can also be there.
But here's what you can do as well. You can lift the whole roll. You lift it up, and then you put series of drainage system, series of little, not bridge, but what they call cover, okay, box cover, like maybe 25 feet wide by 50 feet long across the entire row, okay. So you put series of box cover. So in that place where you usually experience high water table when it rains and stuff, because the row is lifted up. So that the high water table is not going to go above the road anymore. But you have a system underneath the road that allow the water to go through to drain. So you won't have the community flooding as well. Because water want to go down drain. They don't want water can go uphill. The only thing now is, since the concentration of the water you're taking out is going to be so much, the volume is going to be so much, you're now going to concentrate on downstream, that the folks living downstream are not flooded. So then you're going to also go downstream as far as possible, maybe about 1,000 feet or so, or even 2,000-3,000 feet or so, and warn the community in there, and see if you can even provide a man-made ditch that the water can be conveyed into. And here's the other thing that you need to do, because the road now, let's suppose the road is lifted up. So the conveying part of taking the water out, as they come out of that point where you're going to go in the community, you put a bunch of rocks, big rocks. So when the water comes in, it don't go smooth like that. It hit the rock, slow it down a little bit, and as it goes, have you been up in the countryside? You not see when the water dry, Yeah, you see all the BB rod. You see, exactly. You see all the BB rod, right? When the water going down, hit it. It don't go smooth. Then what they call hydraulics jump. But when they jump, it slows it down. It doesn't have much power as it is if it's just moving smoothly. So if you have people living downstream, those are the kind of things you're gonna take into consideration. So go ahead, make a point, my brother.
Yeah, this road project, I actually don't know the government point. If somebody in the past government, for the past government, you try to correct something, and so you want to make everything the past government did, you want to correct it. But it's like, I think you're doing the worst thing. The past government give contract to the people, they're not able to sit in a Google. Then you stay to the line, give the same contract to the same people. Then me, you don't even have a very hard. Because they will not do nothing better. If they can say they don't have money for the other group, they not pay them. How sure are you going to pay them to you couldn't take the money to say that our money your own. Look, government continue with it. They will say that. They could say that the money your own from the past.
And that's according to the story. That's exactly what happened with with East International Group Construction Company and the situation in Bond County. My understanding that they were not paid, but that's one of the reasons why I really do not. I'm not a fan of pre-finance, because if you're going to pre-finance something, you must pre-finance it to completion. You can't say I'm going to pre-finance it to a certain point, then pay me. Why? If the government don't have the money at that time, and the government should not be in the business of letting people to pre-finance nothing. If you don't have the money, let it go. Because here's the thing: if you give somebody a contract and the money sit in the bank, where the contractor can go and withdraw their money and pay their worker, the money coming in, the worker going to be they're going to continue to work, and they're also going to spend the money, and they circulate, come back to the government as they pay taxes, they come back to the government. But if you let somebody pre-finance, the person going to go and borrow the money from some bank somewhere, and when the government pay them, they have to put the money back in the bank. You see what I'm saying? So by you pre-financing, you're not helping the situation. And so I'm not a fan of pre-financing. But many Liberian government think that's the way to get development. And for me, I think it's the wrong way. And who am I? I'm not a financial person, so my idea don't come. But go ahead, finish your point, my brother.
Listen to the former assistant minister, deputy minister, assistant minister, the money he said how they do the financing, they do organization for public work. He said they gave you 30% of your money, but you got to do 65% of the total 30% they gave you before they add another money there. That when he was excluded the money that high working like government, I don't know about it. But he was excluded the money that whenever they give you 30%, you got 30% that he charged them 100 billion. Then they gave you 30 million. But you got to do 65 million work.
And that's and the government, once you do that, you're asking for trouble, because you're asking for people to give you substandard job, substandard product, because they're not getting paid.
But that was going to happen, because those guys, what they're going to do, because they're going to say they borrow money from people, they need to pay them money. So I think the road project is $105 million. If you get the $105 million, they will say they owe you some company $50 million. Then you're going to only get what? For the $5 million, and will not do the work.
Exactly. Okay, my brother. Thank you.
They got to pay that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your contribution, man. I mean, these things are very important. Let's continue to have a conversation. We're not trying to point finger at anybody, but these are ideas that some of us need, and that's why these people need to come and disabuse us with these kinds of knowledge that we have. What we're saying, we believe in it, but who knows? Maybe it might not even be true. But then let them come out and say, no, something, the one you're saying it, this is how it works. That's how you educate people. That's how you get people on your side, by clearing their doubt. But thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, for Samson to LeBron Public Radio. You talk to? Okay. All right, folks, Samson told LeBron Papa, I've been out here for quite a while now. Let me just say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. I think I'm going over my time here. But tune in tomorrow. I hope Mr. Soul will be on. And Wednesday, what I'm going to do, I will bring in Mbumba, the contractor over there in Burkina Faso. He's been doing a lot of work around West Africa. A lot of people, a lot of international community, they are not fond of this guy because they think he cuts a lot of corners. But even cutting corners, if he can give us something decent in Liberia, yeah, I think we can deal with. But I will bring more information about him on, and then I will also bring you information about East East International Group, construction group. And why I still believe they can prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, like I said, I will eat crow here. I'm not going to hide it. If I'm wrong, I will eat crow. I'm not big enough or old enough or young enough or whatever enough to say, oh, I can't say I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, I will say so. Samson told LeBron Papa Radio, folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. We've said good night to all of you. Let us pray for one another, because it's very important that we continue to pray for one another, continue to pray for our country, continue to pray for our leadership. Because if Liberia leadership is not successful, we are going to suffer. Let's put aside politics. Let's pray for one another. Let's put aside politics and talk about national development. This is one of those. This is national development, and this is coming out. Yeah, it's coming from CDC, but they're in charge. They didn't come through they didn't come to power through the back door. They were duly elected. 61.5% of the Liberian electorate decided that these are the people they want. So, and they're giving us opportunity to talk about something, or giving us opportunity to do a genuine development. Let us hold their feet to the fire, and that's exactly what I'm doing. If you're going to consider me enemy of the state, what state? Total? I beg you. Total, I stay. I beg you. You want to hold me you want to hold me enemy of the state of Total? Yes, I am the enemy of the state of Total. Samson told LeBron Pablo. Folks, I want to appreciate all of you here again tonight and say thank you very much for joining out, and let us do it again. Good night, folks. Samson told LeBron Pablo Radio.
You
borusu kuona verio. Angane meyo, ye borusu kuona verio. Angane meyo, ye borusu kuona verio. Angane meyo, duro tape makuria, mopa ya seba. Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikolo mwa yepoza ne kriku ya moreu. Lokolo toriye borusu ku. Suku ogere yo, omo ya lokolo kete swalo iti doro. Karema TV, enana, monyo kapora kanama. Iye karema TV, enana, sono sere kanama. Pare kwekuri kuna, inana, pare mwaki kanama. Baye jibo basogo, sagati ko pare monyo basogo. Basogo, Zakati go, but I'm going to Basogo. Tumo wana, but I tumo wana, Robota sing on. Tumo wana, but I want you to Moma, my able for a gama.